Hi guys. Yes, I'm back. It's been a while. I've had a lot of personal things that I've had to deal with. And some of you know, those I've told, uh, what I've been going through. It's just been really rough for me, and mentally I just haven't wanted to do anything. So I've been mostly just gaming, throwing my mind into that, focusing on that. Um, Not really being able to focus on much of anything else. So I was just kind of recovering personally so I could continue doing what I love to do, which is skinning. Um, I have a couple opportunities coming up, um, talking with people, we're getting things done, setting things up for future stuff. Um, so I'll be doing a couple things in this video. Um, I will be creating a couple logos for my personal use because I'm going to be doing a new name change um, of my skinning brand, um, which we'll get to. But I'll be walking you through that possibly in this one, maybe in another video, depending on how long this one goes. My primary focus for this one is to do another skin for the Rollin 389. I have a couple people who are paying me or have paid for a skin, and I just it kind of got pushed because of this personal thing which happened day before New Year's Eve or the day of. I kind of just blocked it out now. It's just whatever. But I'm dealing with it for a while, so it's just kind of yeah. Um, anyway, so basically what I'm going to be doing is creating a skin from scratch, walking you through my process, showing you how I do it personally, creating the mod file, um, zipping it up, putting it in game, showing you in game what it looks like, um, basically pulling you through my process of how I do it, quick, easy, and get it done and get it going. Um, we will be using, from what it looks like, uh, from what I have for references, um, looks like a 72-inch sleeper. Um, yeah, and I'll show you guys what it looks like in a second here. Just getting last minute things in order, making sure I have everything set up the way I need it to be set up so I can do this quickly and get through it. Let's see, what was the last one that I made? This one. Okay, anyway, and I'll also be showing you a secondary file structure that I started using for trailers as well. But and I'll be doing another video on that because I have to do a skin pack, essentially 3 trailers, 3 trucks, 3 designs. I will be doing all 3 of those in a video as well. Actually, I might even live stream it, um, which is something I haven't done in a while. We shall see. Um, that being said, if it does happen, it'll happen tomorrow, tonight, one of the two. Um, um, I'm actually going to talk to the person about that right now once I find him in here. My massive DMs. No, it's not this one. Once I find him, here it is. my kickstart, me and my broken heart. Alright, anyway, okay, so I did that. I'm getting what I'm doing, just so you guys, I'm getting permission from him because some people's skins are personalized, and yeah. So anyway, but um, yeah, essentially, let's get into this. Let me switch over my screen here. So you got my main screen here. As you can see, so on the left here in this window, I have, and we can minimize this. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be remaking this skin as well in a video too, uh, which will be really fun. But I will be doing it on Dom's 379. Um, anyway, back on topic here. Um, oh, and Rollin's. But anyway, back on topic. I'm gonna keep getting sidetracked. I'm in that kind of mindset. But anyway, so on the left here we have a skin that I actually am working on for myself personally. Um, it's gonna be really cool. As you can see by the name, uh, it's it's gonna be pretty nice. Um, anyway, um, so I'm gonna be using this as my guide personally, so you can kind of see what it's going to look like um, compared to what I'm going to be starting, which is this one, um, which I'm naming Blue Ryan. Is going to be the name I stick with throughout this entire video for this specific skin. It's going to be a simple one, but as you can see, if I open up this is what it's going to look like when it's done. Um, all the text and stuff, I'm going to be recreating. I think I'm actually going to find that sticker as well. Um, these aren't the greatest, so I might not be able to, like, right here, I don't think I can get that. Um, maybe if I look at it in here, if my zoom will work properly. No. Okay. Well, anyway, but the main part is focusing on here, and I don't know what this says to be able to properly assess whether or not I'm going to be putting it in. But he wants this, and he wants this. But as you can see, yes, simple design, bordered white. Um, I think we're making this one metallic, changeable. Let me find the guy really quick. My DMs. Here he is. Okay. Um, something is meant to... Sorry, I'm listening to music in the background. It's Elvis Presley right now. Anyway, so we'll minimize that. We'll come back to that. But anyway, we're going to start off first things first before we do anything. Simple process. We're going to first copy over our material folder and paste that in. Cool. Although, as I said to start, I'm going to be changing these two logos completely, and basically redoing it. So we are going to be editing these today in this video, which will be another good learning thing for you guys too, to be making your personal little logos for your mods. But yeah, we'll get into that afterwards, but for now we're just going to copy it in. So we got our material. We're going to need two other folders. Our So we need the def, and then we need the vehicle folders. So basically spelled the same, right? Spelled exactly like this, all lowercase, perfectly fine. All right, cool. So the other things I'm going to copy over is my manifest and my other one, which in my original video of doing this step by step, I had a Google Drive link that had all of these in here. I will include that same link um, for all of these specific things for you guys, and I actually messed up and I needed to copy and paste and not drag them over because, yeah. Anyway, okay, so this is what your mod file will look like at the start. So you will have these included in the Google Drive, and if I pull that up for you guys, I will show you what I'm talking about, just because that would be smart. Okay, anyway, go into here, and so you will have access to this file. It'll be Rollin tutorial files. You can see I have my folders. This is the XML. If you guys want it, it's okay. If you use it, then the only thing when you create your mods using MS2 and that XML is to re-edit your TobyJs to be fixed. Other than that, I mean, you really don't need it. What I'm doing is trying to teach you how to bypass all of that. Just delete MS2 entirely. You don't need it, except for unless you're skinning other trucks like Rutas or what have you not. But even then, technically, you don't need it anyway, because this method, as long as you have the right information, will work. You just build your mod around it. You can do one test mod in MS2 and say, okay, so this is the information spitting out for the specific mod. I'm going to create my own new one, my template, and say, okay, this is what it needs to look like. For Rollin, you can't really do that because loading it in, it breaks shit, and it's okay. Anyway, but I included with you my two logos, which are examples for size specifically. You can use them if you want, or you don't have to. It doesn't matter. It gave you two SII files, TobyJ files that you need, two of them. Your text file, so your mod description, which goes here, and your example mat, which goes in material. And then the TobyJ editor itself, and a color converter that was provided to me, which is very, very helpful for this. Anyway, so I'll minimize that because I don't need it at the moment. But I am going to need another folder because I'm going to have to go into here, and you'll see I have my own personal blanks right here essentially. So we're going to drag this manifest over, replace it. It's going to be a blank and example one, which is fine. Alright, so now that I have this, so this is what it's going to look like. You'll need to change the mod description underscore example that I gave you to just mod description. I typed it as example because that is my original copy and I do not want to edit that one. So that's why it sits there like it is. I gotta copy paste because I did it again. Anyway, this should be, yeah, my example one. Oh, shit, okay. Anyway, so we're going to build our file paths in our def and our vehicle folders. We'll start with def. So you go in def, new folder, simple, name it vehicle. Make sure you spell it right. Vehicle. Okay, accept the name, go inside, new folder, truck. Lowercase is important. Okay, go inside, and then this is the, so most mod files are set up the exact same way, up until, for the def folder, up until this point. This will be the internal name. So for, in this case, Rollin's is Peterbilt.389, which is the same thing as the SCS 389. If you went, I'm going to open up Mod Studio here in a second and show you what I mean. But so I'm going to change this to Peterbilt.389. Oh, we'll actually use a dot. Rename dot 389. Okay, perfect. Now, if I pull this over here so you can see it, and go into vehicles, as you can see, you got internal names right here. So if I'm looking for, say, Ruta's 389 his Peterbilt 389, the internal name for that is Pete.jc. So if you are making a Ruta skin for his 389, all you need to do um, is do a folder and then name it Pete.jc, and you're done. See, matching. So that's exactly what you would have to do. Um, and this method, what I just showed you here is if you have multiple trucks and you want to merge all your skin files together, this is how you would do it. Pete.jc would be your Ruta, where your Ruta def would go, the SII file for your Ruta, and then Peterbilt.389 would be where your SII folder goes for the Rollin 389. And I don't have any projects that can show that. I may have to create my own eventually to do that, but that would be how it would work. Um, in this case, we only need this one, so that's fine. So, but that's exactly what you would do. So that one folder, whichever this is, would be the skin name for your specific truck. And you would do others accordingly as you would need. Now, once you go inside that folder, we're going to continue doing this. You need your new folder is paint underscore job. Go inside there, and this is where your first SII file will go. And so you would take this one, your paint underscore example, not that one. Why do I not have, oh, I deleted it by accident, it seems. That's fine. So copy, we're gonna recreate it, paste really quick. So bear with me a second. Example. 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 And I'm actually going to leave it like this because these are actually all of your cabins that he has. Your day cab, your flat top, 63-inch high, 63-inch low, 72-inch high, 72-inch low, or 70-inch, however big it is. Anyway, save, rename example, paint underscore. Okay, so anyway, copy that, paste. Anyway, okay, so this is going to be the easy one. So we are going to rename all this. I know I just did it, but that was for you guys. So you can see I have all lowercases. That is incredibly important. I didn't address that really much in my last video, which I'm sorry about. I overlooked it. But this is incredibly important part right here, that everything needs to be lowercase, that I have lowercase. If I capitalize something, that's a different story. That's allowed to be capitalized. But some things, if they are capitalized, SES does not read them, so they need to be lowercase. And also in this example, it needs to be 12 characters or less for all your names, whatever you choose, however you do it. So like this one, mocha underscore coffee is 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. It's 12, exactly 12. So this one's fine. This is your max right here. 5 letters, the underscore is 6, coffee is 6, that's 12. Okay, so anyway, so we're gonna rename this. Like I said, we already have our name, which is blue underscore Ryan. So blue underscore Ryan. So that's going to be the name we use in here. So if we open this up, so you can see I got all my examples, da 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 da. So for starters, I'm going to be deleting these sleepers because I do not need them. I just need these two, and alternate UV needs to be set to true. Um, these are false. We're gonna make it metallic, so we're gonna name this true. We are not locking the colors, so it's going to be editable. We're just gonna leave the colors blank by default. So first off, we're gonna go back up to the top here. This first example, we are going to change and rename to the same name we just named this file. So blue_Ryan. Remember, all lowercase, and make sure it is spelled exactly the way it needs to be, which is exactly what you named here, blue_Ryan. All lowercases, same spelling, same characters, everything. So, and then you're going to come down to this one where it says paint job mask. You're going to come right here where it says example, and do the exact same thing. So, blue_Ryan. And then these two are the ones that don't technically matter. So, what you're going to do here, so just to clarify, so you see here mine says BWCG2. So this, if you look, is going to be your DDS file. You're going to have one JPEG image and one DDS file image in this specific thing. Your JPEG is your SES mod file itself's main image, so it's what you'll see in the mod manager when you enable your mod. The DDS is what you're going to see in-game inside the vehicle shop, and that's important. So what this is asking is right here on the icon is what icon is it looking for? What's the name it's looking for inside that shop from your skin file? That's the resource it's going to pull. So it's basically a bunch of file paths leading to a bunch of different file paths. So that material folder is where this icon is located. So it's trying to figure out what is the name of the image inside that material folder. In my case, it is BWCG2. That is what the name of this is. Now, I'm going to use the old ones for this specific mod for now, but I am still going to show you guys my recreation of my logos as I do it, so you can see all of those specifics, how I do it, what I do, you know, little fancy things, whatever. But anyway, so that's what that one's going to be named, BWCG2, and it's exactly what this one is. And it's short for Bears West Coast Graphics. Anyway, moving on. So this last example here, this is the last thing you need to change, really, is the name. So this is the name it's going to be displaying in the game in the shop. So this one is one that does not matter if it's capitalized. So we are naming it Blue Ryan. So, and we don't need the underscore in this one. It doesn't matter. It's not going to affect anything. And same thing with the icon. Capitalized letters don't matter with the icon, as long as it matches. So with that, as long as everything else is, this is false, this is true, price unlock I set by default to 1001. Everything else is fine. I got our cabin sleepers. These are your internal names. If you remember from my last video, I showed you where to get those, so watch that to get that. But it's pretty simple. They're also included in the Rollin files you get when you download from the Google Drive. So anyway, so once we're done with that, we're going to hit File, and then we're going to hit Save, and then we can close out of that. So we are done here. Perfectly done. So we're going to go back out to blue_Ryan, back to our main folder, and we're going to do our vehicle structure now. So we go back here, go inside vehicle. Now this is the interesting part. So you can see in mine, I have edits to BART trailers. So my zip file includes textures for BART's reefer and stuff and everything. So I mean, if you look in his custom texture files that he provides with you, the custom skins, whatever the heck it's called, it shows you the file path. Essentially, there's one for the Great Dane. There's one for every one of his trailers. But yeah, you go in, you got Great Dane, Everest textures, there's your mud flaps, and then you got your paint job ones and everything. Same thing for the livestock. You got your light box texture. in here, and they all work in game. You just got to make sure this is placed above those BART trailers when you load it in. Um, that way those BART trailers will, this skin file will override what it needs to in the BART trailers. But anyway, we're going to be focusing specifically on the truck side of things, because this one doesn't have a trailer, pending the fact that I get permission to do that live stream that I want to do. I'll show you how to do all that, because I do have to make a trailer skin for that one truck. But anyway, so continuing with what we're doing. So this rename, this is going to be truck. We go into truck. So here's another split. So in this case, so you would have Peterbilt 3._389 if you were doing your interior customizations, like your ceiling, your dash, your floor, the door panel dash logos. Because it used to be just the door panels, now it actually reads. There's one on the dash too, above the glove box for this one. So you have 3 locations this one displays. That's where all those would go. But we're not doing anything for that one, so we're going to ignore it in this video for this specific skin. So we are just going to make our upgrade folder. Enter, go inside. Now here is your other split. So you have, if you have doorsteps, plate, the hood ornament, I think that's, oh, and license. So yeah, doorsteps, license plates, hood ornament. Those will all go here. Inside their own little folders, you would have, doorsteps, Peterbilt _389, your thing, same thing here, Peterbilt 389, your plates, so on and so forth. But we're just focusing on the paint job for this one, so we're just going to make our paint job folder like so. No underscore in this one. And then we will need this is where our DDS will go, which we don't have yet because we haven't made our skin yet. So with that being said, we do need a Toby J, which is going to be this one, or paint underscore example. So we're going to do copy, paste, and then we are going to rename it first to blue underscore Ryan, all lowercase, same spelling as the rest of it. Keep it simple. That's the biggest thing I can say, is keep it simple. Make it all the same. That's just keep it simple. That's all I can say. Okay, and then what we need now is our Toby J editor. So we take that, we find it wherever you put it, and then we just grab our Toby J from here, hover over, like oh, and this little window will pop up. Now all you have to do is find where it says example, hit delete, and name it to the same thing. So blue underscore Ryan. So what the Toby J does is your def file looks for this Toby J. It'll read the Toby J, read this file path, and it'll say, okay, the skin is here. So then it's going to go from that, and it's going to take your skin and read your skin, and then display it in game. It's a bunch of file paths that seem really unnecessary to me, and a bunch of files, but it's how SCS did it, so whatever. But anyway, so it needs to be like this, and all you do once it is hit file, save, close that, and you can even open it up. Look, just don't edit it because you'll corrupt it. But yeah, it says blue underscore Ryan, so we're good, and we can back out of that to the beginning. So to continue, so we have our JPEG here, everything, mod description, custom skin, obviously made by me, but it's actually going to be a recreation in this case. Skin made by me, do not re-upload, whatever is designed to fit this. And I'm going to add cabs, so fitted to both variants of the I'm gonna say 70-inch sleeper. Alright, so easy stuff. Then we're just gonna hit file, save, and do that. I always give credit to the mod and the mod owner itself, and the skin who it's by. Sometimes I'll say who the skin is for. If it's custom, if it's recreation, I just leave it blank because it's whatever. Anyway, so yeah, once we do that, we'll close that. Make sure it just says mod underscore description. If you decide to name it something else, you will need to change this line right here to match. But otherwise, just name it this because it's simple. Category, I always put paint underscore job. Your icon is whatever this JPEG is right here. So mine is BWCG1, and so it follows. The name for it is going to be Blue Ryan. This is one where it doesn't matter. It's just going to be the name of your mod in the mod manager. Package version 1.0. And then the author, whoever created it, which is myself, so I put my name there. So once you do that, you just file, save, and you can close that. And you are done. So I can close this. I'm going to leave this open, but essentially, that's all you need to do here for the moment. I'm going to put this here where it needs to be. And we are going to close out of this. And open up Photoshop. So first thing I need to do is actually go here, actually I need to go here, templates, and we need to pull out our Ultra Cap. We're going to do a 4K skin on this one. Alright, so here we are. So here's our template. Here's a skinning program. Here's everything. Yeah. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this layer. We are going to pixel lock it, which is what this little 5-dot looking symbol is, a square right here. We're going to lock it so it cannot be moved or changed or whatever. And then we're going to add a new layer. And so we're actually going to rename this template. So I do this almost on every single mod, just to be simple. This one we're going to name under layer, and it is going to be white. So we're going to make sure I have white selected here, primary. Do that and put it under here, and we're going to lock it. And then sometimes what I do is I add, if you really need to, is I add an overlayer, and then what I do, so you see me filling without clicking anything. I'm actually hitting Alt and then Delete, and whatever your primary color will fill that space. So if I was to do make a box, right? Inside that box, fill my color to white. That whole section just got filled to white in that selection. You'll see me use that a lot, but essentially I take a black layer, go about 50%, sometimes even lower to like a 40 or even a 30, just to kind of darken it so I can see lines better. But in this case, actually, you know what, we will do that. And then I'm going to group this into a folder and do template and then call it good, and new layer. So this new layer will be where I put my skin stuff, draw my lines, all that stuff, all the good stuff. Where are we at? So 35 minutes so far. We created what we did so far, just a quick run up. We created our skin right here. We have that completely created. We're good. And now we're starting our skin. So for references, Actually, we're gonna open up this. This is what I want, and then go here. So, opening this up, we're gonna open up the main folder picture here. So this is what we're recreating. So my biggest thing is I'm gonna do is create my black bordered guidelines, which are gonna go across the whole truck. As you can see, I don't have a shot of the back, so I'm going to by default assume that it wraps all the way around. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna start with I always do it on this lower part right here because it's easier, because it's facing the right way. Now there's a lot of extra pieces here that we're going to ignore, like this is your air roof spoiler, we have this, which is your mirrors. In this case, they're chrome, as you can see, so we don't need to do anything there. This is supposed to be your headlight right here in this little circle. I think this is supposed to be your air filter, but it doesn't texture anything, so it's a dead one. More roof spoiler. This whole big section right here is the front of your sleeper. Obviously, this is the back of your sleeper. Right here, this U-shaped piece right here that wraps around the hood, that is the back of your cab. Obviously, you got your cab roof, your hood roof, the sleeper roof. You got your window trim right here, plus door handles and vents. You got the visors right here. This, I believe, I want to say it's the roof spoiler, the inside of the roof spoiler. The bigger part, it's the one that connects to these round parts here. And then this is the part that goes over top of that. But I'm not sure. I don't really mess with this specific template much, because I never need to. I don't really do this type of sleeper very often. It's usually a flat top or a 63-inch. But in any case, we're going to come down here, zooming in here, moving this down. Okay, so we have our truck. So we need guidelines. So what I'm going to do, as you can see, I'm going to start setting up guidelines of roughly where things are going to end up, based on gauging distance. So right there looks about good for space between the point of this line and the grill shroud. And the round part lines up the same way there too. Looks like just a little bit past. So I have to factor that in there too, which right there looks about good. So there's my two guides. For the main top line. So from what I'm seeing, the bottom of our big line is going to hit right here. As you can see, I'm zooming in, getting real precise, hitting that perfect pixel line. Yeah, that looks about right compared. The second line is going to be, and looking at this for reference, that second line is going to overhang just a little bit. Too much. That looks about right. And then there's going to be a gap. We're going to use that pixel as a reference. That's too much. So let's go up to here. Still too much. Here. if I could see the window on the other side of the truck, I would be able to gauge this better, but um, I don't have that ability. I do know gauging by, and you can see right here, this is where it starts rounding the edge of the hood right here on this top line. So this line is about where the round part starts. And that's about where it's going to land. Technically it needs to go just a little bit higher. This is not going to be 100% exact, but okay, so that's basically where I had it. That's fine. Actually, we're going to go up one. That'll work. And then, okay, so here's our first line. Here's our second line. And then our edges here. So for the first one that we're going to do, we're going to do our rounded lines. And then this, let's see, we gotta pick a random one of these lines here. It's not this one, so I'm gonna assume it's gonna be this one here. So we're going to switch over to black, grab our line tool here. We're gonna make sure our color is black. Keep fill empty. We're gonna change this to 5 because it's a pretty thick border. We can always change it afterwards. But that might be too thick. Actually worked out pretty well, minus here. Okay, that's 4 there. Actually, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fuck. And yes, I'm being very technical about my pixel placement because I want this to look right. So 5 around each one. And actually, I need to go 5. Okay, like that, because this line's gonna go straight across afterwards. Anyway, so then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's fine. Right here. Let's go. Fine. Okay. Here. Okay, that works. No, actually. Alright, that's fine. Okay, so there's our first curved line that hugs the fender. So you can see it's right here. It's not going to be exact, but it's going to be pretty damn close. But anyway, so once we do that, we're going to create our second one. And then I'm just going to kind of rough guess this. Okay. Well, okay, so we need to line this one up first. Fuck. Like so. And then we can come back here and re-edit this one. Like that. And I'm just trying to, this may take me a while, but I'm just trying to get the, actually, let's open up this one. Just trying to get this exact one right, and I just realized I messed up. It's actually going to be a lot more shallower than that. Something like that. And then right about here is where it's gonna kind of go up. We're gonna put it right about, put it here. And do that. Okay, and that'll be fine. Another guide here. And I think for roundness, that actually works pretty well for that shape. So we'll leave that. We'll hit escape twice to, so we're gonna keep the shape in its form, in case we want to go back and edit it afterwards, but I don't think we will. Yeah, it's pretty fine for what it is. So now what we're gonna do is create our second line right there, and then we're gonna hit escape and create another line there. We're gonna do that to give it its staggered. Something I'm giving up. Anyway, so we're gonna do that. That works. I brought it 5 past the line and over 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's fine. We're gonna escape. And then right here, we're gonna create our other line. Now we're gonna take this, we're gonna rasterize this, take our eraser tool, kind of get it roughly there, and oh, took too much. If you do it just right, you can get, now, I mean, if you wanted it easy, you could just highlight the area right up against the lines, hit delete, and it'll erase it. Same thing here. Get where you want it, just hit delete, and there you go. Perfect lines. And you zoom out, and that's what it's going to look like. So that's pretty much the hard part of the skin. We have one more part to do, which is our second line where it curves inward, but that'll be easy to do. This was the hard part because you have a curve, another curve, and then that sigged line, which looking at it isn't actually as steep as it needs to be. It probably needs to go right about here. So we're gonna undo all of that. That looks about right, but this is actually not as steep. So what we're going to do, we're gonna have to edit this. So now that, since we have this shape done, we can take all of this, rasterize it, and then merge it. And then what we're gonna do is this, and stretch it to just fit in there, and then re-render it. It might have some issues here, like you can see, like this had a little extra part. Line borders, which is fine. Just fix it as you need, readjust. I'm just trying to kind of just taking the more simpler route of things. Just to be sure, nothing up here. Okay, so back to continuing what we're doing. So here and then up here, 3 passed, 2, 3, 4, 5, and up 5. So perfect diamond. But we're gonna have to adjust like so and move this over 2. So the line goes right through that point, and move this over 2. So well, actually, it just needs to go. Is there a spot we can find where it's gonna be? Right there. Okay, so that's gonna be where it's gonna. So it's going point and point straight through. Perfect. Which is exactly how I want it. So we're going to rasterize so we can edit it, and then take our box tool and delete that excess that we don't need on both top and bottom, so we get that nice G shape. And then we're going to take this and do our second line. We're going to go overlap a little bit. Go, oh. And you can see direction does matter. So if I go here to here, right to left, it's going to go above. But if I go left to right, it's going to go below. Same thing goes for up and down and up. Direction does matter. Even with curves and whatever. But you can see our shape is coming together quite nicely for this. This, looking at it, is a lot bigger than it needs to be, height-wise. But I mean, we can readjust all of that afterwards. That part is easy to fix. Um, but I want to get the rest of the shape drawn out for you guys. So this we won't need, so this is excess right here. So make sure you're on the original one, which is the line borders from this case. Delete your excess. Line, go back to your line tool. I always use the curve pen tool. It's so you can slide around your nodes better. So you can, sometimes it doesn't like to, so you have to undo it and redo it again. But it's fine. You just do it as you need to do it. So we're gonna do this. We're gonna overlap, actually, and we're gonna go above. So we do want to go right to left. We're going to go over here and we're going to overlap this by a couple pixels. That's good enough. We're going to click. Okay, so there we go. And actually, because this is 5, we need to go one more and then move my guideline. So we're going to go 2 more. That way we have a buffer space. Okay, so there's that. And then just to make things simple on ourselves, I'm going to go here, come up here to the second line, skip this one, go up to this one. So you can see down to up puts it on the right side, up to down, or up and then down, we'll put it on the left side of that blue line right there. So essentially, so once we got that, we're going to click here again. So this is going to, so we're going left to right, so it'll put it below that red line. And then we're going to overlap it just because, and we'll go there. So now, as you can see, if I turn off my template, we have our shape, a rough shape of what it needs to be. So I think it looks fine the way it is for what it is. So we're not gonna edit it. We're just gonna leave it. So since we have that, we're going to rasterize these, merge them, rasterize this one as well, merge layers, and then merge down, and it's going to be one solid piece now, all the way across, which is exactly what we want. Now I do need to fix this because I forgot this curves outward, so do need to do this, and then we're going to take this edge here. We're just going to grab it and we're going to move it here. Now we will have gaps here, but what I'm going to do is just take a section, copy and paste it, and then just drag it over to fill the void. Same thing up here. Just fill the void. But we want to have a gap past these just so we know that the line doesn't interfere and the color goes through the way we want it to. So essentially, so we have that done. And we're going to need to move this again for the top one, which is going to be in this space. So what we're going to do is we're going to go here. So this is where, right up here, is where our other one's going to go. So we need to do our curved line. So it's going to curve right about to from here to here. And we're going to simulate that as best as we can, like so. Like that. And that looks about right. So we're gonna keep it like that. Although this does come off into a point like that. I need to make sure I have 5 because this is, yeah. And this basically squares off here like that, which that works actually rather well. I don't know what these are, so we're gonna merge them and then alright, so we have this, we're going to rasterize this so we can edit it like we need to, and we just need to do this one, get rid of that, and we don't need it to extend that much, so we're going to delete that, and we'll take off one more. Yeah, that looks good. And then up here there isn't anything up here, but we'll do it just because. But grabbing our line tool again, as you can see, I already technically messed up. You can see there's only 4 pixels here. So we're going to undo that and refix our line. Needs to be a darker, so we need to go. There we go. That'll work beautifully. Alright, and then we need to grab this and we actually need to drag this up and back. Actually, we need to... Yeah, because technically this point stops before that, and that actually looks about right. We need to drop this down by 1, but that looks about perfect. So we're going to re-rasterize, delete this lower section here. And that'll be fine. We'll just leave that like that and go with it. So anyway, make sure that box is gone. Okay, so come back up here. And actually we're just gonna start it back here, where it needs to be. Come back over here. Do that, make sure I got it right, which I did not. It needs to be on the line, like so. Escape. Escape twice, and then we're gonna come back over here and drop it there. And if we take this off the template, you can see, and if I remove my guides, you can see, you'll see here in a second. So view, we're gonna clear guides. You can see here is our shape, which is mimicking this. So you can see it's pretty spot on for the black border around it, which is really good. So as since we have it now, we can just copy it, flip it, and paste it onto the other side of our truck, which is very ideal. And the positioning is very easy for lining it up, and I'll show you how to do that. So first things first, so we gotta rasterize all of this. So rasterize, merge layers, merge down, and then merge down. So now our lines are all one shape. As you can see, I toggle them off, they disappear. I toggle them on, they reappear. So it is exactly how it needs to be. Now, technically, what I could do is edit this a little bit. Like this needs to come down by some. Because there is some white displaying on this door. So I need to bring it down just enough to show some of that white, and that, we'll go with 5 pixels. That should be enough. And keeps everything, kept everything in line. When I dragged it down, I held shift so it only moves in that axis that we decide to move it. So if we hold shift and then move in a certain direction, it'll stay in that axis. So if we move it to the left, it'll stay in the left and right axis. If we move it down, it'll stay in the up and down axis, X, Y, Z, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Anyway, continuing. So now that we have our shape done, we need to do the we need to put it on the other side. So quickest thing I'm going to do is guidelines on the edges. So we're going to put one here, so on that far edge, and then we're going to come over here and put one here on this edge. So we make sure it's lined up. So that's where it's going to sit on the other side of the truck. As you can see, we're going to go to C, Control V, put it in there, and then we're going to transform and flip vertical, which is going to flip it over that horizontal axis. So anyway, grab that, grab it, and we're holding shift, dragging up. It's going to do that. We're going to get roughly close to where we want it, but we're going to come down here, verify where it needs to be. So if we grab it and move it, it's going to sit right there, right on this double line right here, right on this spot. So make sure we're looking at the right spot. It's going to go right there. That's what we're looking at on the other side. So this double line right here, so we're going to click it. It's going to sit right there on that double line. And now it's going to be perfectly in line. So it should have about 5 pixels here and there. This is going to put it roughly within a pixel or two in the up or down direction of this side, if not spot on. Now we can merge those layers because we're done with those. So the big major guidelines that I use lines, the doors, the windows, these pieces. But you have these double lines. You have this major line that runs through here. I go right here. When I do guides from the bottom, right about here, where this red guideline is, which for reference you can see it hits right about there. But more commonly than not, I will use this top line because it's more true and you can see it all the way across. That dark double line or bold line goes all the way across. That is the split line. So if you look at the actual truck, it is this split line right here that runs across the top of your cab. And then the other one's right about where this black line is, where I placed it originally. So we have those lined up. View, we're going to clear canvas guides. So continuing, so we still have to do the back of the sleeper, and we actually still have to do the divides, the two U's, this U, and then the back of the sleeper, which most people don't realize you have to do with this truck, but it's a special case that yes, you do have to, and you have to do it just as it is. So, any new messages? Nope. Okay, so anyway, continuing. Time is at 3:40. So anyway, we're gonna continue the skin. Okay, so we're gonna be using. We can't use the same guide on these pieces because they don't exist. It exists on this one. Here's your double line for your back of your cab, but it does not exist on this one. Not technically. See, this bold line right here is the one that follows. If I move over to here, it follows this bold line. Oh, it goes down here, but it follows this bottom one. So this bottom one right here lines up with this top one right here on the back of the sleeper. Where this lower spot sits, I don't really know exactly, but yeah. So anyway, continuing. We need to, let's do this one because this one's easy to do. So we just need to do, what we need to do is what's easiest. So we just take this, since it's already set up, get between the two lines, the two vertical lines here. We're going to highlight, and we're going to control, or we're going to make sure we're actually selecting the line borders. We're going to do Control C and then Control V. And then we are just going to grab it. Put it right about here, rotate it 90, and we know this line needs to sit right here. Right on that line. And we're going to overlap a little bit. We'll do 2 pixel overlap. And then we're going to stretch it to go 2 pixels over on the other side. So like so. So that'll fill that. And then we're going to do Control C, Control V. We're going to do guides so that we know we are spot on the other side. And the thing about grabbing with Photoshop is you have to actually make sure you grab on your line. If you grab somewhere else, you're going to grab your other layers as well. So make sure you are holding your lines when you move things. So like I said, 2 pixels across on both sides. This one needs to be stretched a little bit more, 1 more pixel to be exact. That's fine. So those are lined up, and I just noticed there isn't any line up here, but we're fine. I thought that was a line, but it wasn't. It's the border of the truck. Anyway, so continuing, so we have that. So that's the back part of our sleeper. So the lines will mesh there. They should be exact. Now the next thing we need to figure out is the spacing from. We're gonna do the top line because, like I said, it's the easier one to do. So we're going to put a guide right here. So if we hold it, it's going to tell us we're at 3092 on the y-axis. Right there. So we're going to pull out a calculator here. So we're going to do, so it's easier if you do the bigger number first. So right here, so the top of this line right here is at 3436. 436 minus 3092. 344 pixels. If we grab this just to be sure, yeah, 3092. So 344 pixels from the top of the line, from that one part of the truck to the top of the line, where this needs to go. So we move these, so readjust. So this one is at 3220, is that what it was? Yeah, so 3220, and then we add 344 pixels to that. and we're gonna get 3564. So this one, we need to move to 3564. So get close, that's 65, zoom in, move it 1 pixel up, 3564. So this is where the top of the line is gonna sit. So if we zoom in here and we do Control V, you're gonna see our lines again. We're gonna rotate them back to the right orientation, put them here, overlap by a couple pixels like always, grab this edge, hold shift so it doesn't adjust on me, and then we're going to stretch it to a couple pixels over like so, and that's where it's going to sit. Perfect. And then we're going to do Control C, Control, we're going to accept the shapes of rasterizes, and then we're going to do okay. Anyway, Control C, Control V. Anyway. Alright, cool. So it's lined up on both sides. We're good. So we're good there, and we're good here, and we're good here. We still need to do our back of the sleeper. So we know how many pixels it's going to be. So we go here. So from this line, 2046, which is the center line of this whole thing, because it's in 4K. So 2046 plus 344, 2390. That's the number we're looking for on this sleeper. So 23, going by fives here, 2390. So that's where it's going to go. So we paste our lines in. So there we go. Grab this, stretch it to the other side of the sleeper. So we can move it over a little bit more. Okay, cool. So there we go. Now, what you didn't see me do is complete my lines. So we're gonna do a box about 5 pixels. Like that. Actually, we're gonna do it this way. Hold up. So Alt Delete. Come over here. Do the same thing. Basically, we're just doing this so we can easily and we're just filling this in. So now we can fill those in easily. Same thing here. Alright, so we're just doing this. There's nothing really to explain about it. It's pretty explanatory what I'm doing. I'm just creating borders around those lines I pasted in, completely surrounding them so I can do what I need to do easier. Um, um, Alright, cool. So I finished all of that, did up there. Okay, continuing this, almost done. Just need to do up here. Now you can see I'm just zooming in just barely enough so I can see the pixels for complete accuracy on my part. Although I've done this enough times that really I don't need to do all this little extra work. It's just simpler on my part. Okay, so everything's filled in, everything's cool. We're good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to, so the inside of this is going to be white. So these are the two things that aren't going to be changing colors, the black and the white. The rest of the truck, on the other hand, which will be transparent metallic. I'm going to allow him to create his own metallic colors. Make all of this see through to the paint, because the paint's going to determine that color. May have to play with that. Anyway, so now as it sits right now, we have everything lined up. Everything for the lines is done. So we're going to grab all that, merge layers. We're gonna minimize that. Alright, and then merge down. So now, in the template, all of our lines are connected as one piece, which is how we want it. So now we're going to create a new layer, and this one's actually going to go underneath the lines, and this is going to be our line paint. Line paint. Okay, I don't know what it did. I don't need a text layer. Anyway, line paint. Okay. So now this is going to be like the painstaking part kind of on my end because I'm going to hand paint this all for the most part. Actually, what I can do is this actually. So we're going to overlap this. We're going to make this, oh fuck, slightly easy on ourselves. Guides aren't going to help me on this one. Clear guides, so we're going to get rid of all of them. But what we can't do is get rid of our template. The actual template. Anyways, you can see. Here's our lines. But we need to fill up all of these lines with white paint. So we're going to do all these squares first. Just overlapping it just to be sure. We're just roughing it because it doesn't matter in the end as long as it fills the whole void. Doing these ones first because they are square, so it is easier. Alright, so as you can see, there's our lines. So black border, white things. Now we're going to do the slightly more annoying ones, but here's how we're going to do it. So we're going to start here on the side. We're going to go here, go up to here, and then we're going to go over here. We're only going to fill in part of this. My headset is dying, so pardon me while I plug it in. Okay. Alright, so we did that. That's cool. Now the rest of this is going to be slightly more difficult, but we're gonna just do random squares just to get the majority of the section filled in. Alright, like so. And then we're going to take our paintbrush, go bigger to, let's say, 50. Yeah, that'll work. And then we're just going to basically color inside the lines, like so. I'm gonna do there, not with this. But in these bigger areas, we can use this big brush and just kind of steady hands are perfect for this kind of thing. And there's a little issue here, like you can see. So if we go line borders, you can see the little divot here. Kind of erase that, and you won't see it anymore. I mean, it's just one of those fine details you really don't notice. But I'm clearing it up because it's gonna bug me, really. Anyway, we're gonna go smaller brush. I think a 10 will be perfect. Yeah, 10 will be perfect for this. Oh fuck. Make sure we're selected on line paint. Like so. Okay, then cool. See, we have that perfectly filled in. Now, since we already have the smaller brush, we're just gonna go down here, fill in this really quick, and then we can just take our square and speed run it over to here. Do this. Alt delete, and then now that fills in that line. So now you can see it's coming together. Here's our lines and stuff. Now we're gonna do the same all the way up here, except kind of reverse. Like so. I'll delete. Take the paintbrush. Oh, make sure that's off. Damn it. Stop. There we go. Okay, fill that in. Come up here. Ooh, that was okay. Do that. Overlap it like so. Fill it in. Click off of it. Okay, same thing here. Overlap it. Fill it in. Alright, and then click off that, grab our paintbrush, go back up to a 50. Paint it in. Here, same thing. Cool, and there you go. Now we're done. We're set minus the textual part of the truck. We are essentially done. Now, if we open this image, I'm going to assume this is something Ohio, but I don't know. Like, let's see if I can look it up really quick. Look up the company. So, Randy Ryan Trucking, Ohio. Oh. 1250. Yeah, so it's right here. So this will actually give us all of the information we need. So Polk, Ohio, is where he's based out of currently. That's an A. That's clearly an A though, but I don't. Ohio cities that start with A. Alright, so we can kind of figure this out. So there's no Y. It's clearly a long one. It's something Ohio. That's what it is. And it looks like the last letter is a D based on the font. Like you can see, here's a D. That's obviously an A. So it kind of narrows it down to what it could be. Could be Ashland. Ashland looks about right. But we'll keep looking just in case. I don't know. We'll use the current information. So he's coming out of Polk, Ohio. So we'll use the current information on that. He has a cursive-y kind of font. Let's turn our template back on. So we need our text tool. And we're going to go with a black for now. Actually, we're going to do a crazy color like red. And we'll reposition this actually. So actually we'll merge this down. So line paint. So it's all one big thing now. So white, black, it's all merged together properly. We're going to make it see-through so we can see our template behind it. But we still want to see it, so we'll go with about a 40% opacity. So this sits about dead center here. We'll line it up in a second. But what I do know as it hits this line on the door. That's where it's going to sit at its lowest, and its highest will be about the half, just below the halfway point, which is this line right here. This line right here would be about the halfway point of this box. It's gonna sit right about there probably. Which is also a rivet line on the actual truck. So anyway, with that in mind, we're going to put our text in here. It's going to fit in here. Wait, do we have... Damn, we don't have... More step any new... anymore. These are numbers right here. I'm trying to figure out what it is exactly. That looks like a 3-4. I'm looking at his other information here. It's definitely a 4. That's a 6. That looks like an 8. So 6, 8, 4, 8. What is that? 1, 7, 6, 8, 4, 8. That looks about what it is. 1, 7, 6, 8, 4, 8. But I'm not seeing anything in his DOT information that could be that, so I might just leave it off. Because the US DOT information is correct, so it's 1255006. That's what that is. And then you got 406 over here, but I don't know what this is, so I think I'll just leave it off. Which will be fine. And I don't have to worry about this and this. It's going to be chrome. What he has. It's a very work truck build. But you can see it follows the same paint color as in there. So I'm going to give it a border and yeah. Anyway, okay, so put this over here. And we're going to text all this out. So Andy Ryan. Sky protecting your eyes. Okay. So we gotta find something similar. That's close. Not the right kind of close that I need. minus that part, that's actually pretty close. Okay, we'll keep that one in mind. Thick enough. Some of these fonts are just not good. I like this one, actually looks the closest. This will be easier. Okay, yeah, we're gonna go with this one. Trucking. So what I think I might do is just make it color selectable on red, which is straight 25500. Um, uh, and color change it, which means I'll have to edit, and I'll show you guys how to do that. But don't be worried if I go quiet. It's just because I'm thinking, contemplating editing as I see or need. But like so far, I'm liking this a lot. Alright, so and we're gonna go with on this one. We're going with Polk, Ohio. Polk, comma, Ohio. Which fits perfectly right there. I'm gonna try and outline this. I don't know how well it's gonna work. Um, it's something I might try and do, um, which will involve some work. But I don't know how well it's gonna work. So USDOT space and then 1 2. Oh crap! I gotta use a different font for numbers here. See 1 2. That works. 55006. Yeah, that's a pretty similar font. Alright, see them. Look at that. That actually looks pretty good. For what it is. I need to adjust spacing because yeah. Alright, spacing wise, let's go. Maybe drag. Oh shit. Careful not to do that. And positioning looks good. It's about halfway. So now we're going to, okay, so rearrange this. How it should be, okay. Alright, we're gonna try and stroke it with as thin possible stroke as possible. With an outside stroke like so, which actually works out beautifully. Collapse that. Okay. Stroke. Alright. Keep going with the theme. Alright, so now it's all that. So now, if we do this, and then we take, okay, so then if we rasterize that, no, we have to convert to smart objects, and then rasterize, yeah, there we go, okay. And then we take our wand, a magic wand. We take all of our red, Yeah, I might be making this harder on myself in all honesty. But because there's a simpler way I could like bypass this by making it color selectable. But I really don't want to do that. I'd rather it change with the color of the truck. But I think doing it this way will allow me to thicken some things up. Um, and edit as I need to. Um, I mean, usually I'm right about these things, so I'm just gonna kind of go with how I'm feeling about it. And I know this is gonna be a very long video. I'm pushing 2 hours right now, but I told you I was gonna do it. This is also why the skin pack I want to do in a live stream. Um, um, and because I know it's going to take me a long time to do 3 skin designs, um, and all that. So I'm just kind of preparing myself for that. Okay, so I have all of that selected. Now, here's where things are going to get interesting. So if I lock it, oh fuck. Okay, so now if I go, there's a key button to, I gotta look it up. Photo shortcut for selecting all in oh, okay, so if I do this, Control Alt A, Control Shift A, no, whoa, I don't, um, no, Control A, no, oh, god damn it, I'm just trying to figure this out, um, that might work. Mm, wait, okay, I don't know how I did that, but, um, alright, so I'm kind of cheesing this a little bit, and I'm actually just duplicating the layers to get the desired border darkness because with something this small, it's obviously, as you can see, a pain in my ass. So I'm just kind of trying to make this easier on myself. Okay. So now what we need to do is okay. This is actually working out really well. Um, um, okay. Continuing. Um, I don't know why I didn't think of this already, but doing it this way now. Okay, we're actually doing pretty well with this. Actually, it's going exactly how I thought it, or actually was hoping it would go. Um, so now it's transparent. So if I take this, go down here, and I make this like a kind of a blue, um, now you're gonna see this. And I'm going to like Control C. Alright, we're gonna delete this one. That works. I like that. Color test. And we're gonna have to do the same thing to the numbers on the hood, but that's gonna be really simple, really easy to do. We're actually wrapping this up fairly quickly, so maybe another 20 minutes, guys, and we should be completely done, ready to throw this in the game, launch it, show you that it's done, and just ready to move on to my next project. Um, so, yeah, And I'm not going to edit these. I'm just going to leave them raw so you can see exactly how I work, how I do this every single time. Every time without fail. And I want you to see my mistakes because you're probably gonna make the same mistakes that I do. A lot of the times. Um, so I mean, like I want you to make those mistakes. Well, I want you to see me make mistakes because even I am not 100% perfect. Fuck. Goddamn, where'd it go? Alright, come on. Give. Okay. So if I turn the template back on, turn the color test off. So this sits 3712 to 3740. So that's 8 to get to the whole number, so that'll be 20. So that's 28 pixels from the inner of the black line. So 24 on top of whatever this is. So no, 28. My bad. So 8 would put me at 3040, and then 20 would put me at 3060. So that's where it needs to sit, right there. So rotate this and fit it right in there. Perfect. So now it's the same on both sides. And like I said earlier, we're going to ignore the doorstep stuff, but we do need to do this number. So let's do that. And it fits. Alright, you can see this isn't perfect, but like it never is going to be. So anyway, so continuing, so 4. Okay, so we can't use that one. So we were using yellowtail. So 406. So like I said, it's not exact text, but it's close enough that it's not gonna bother it too much. And I realized I put a 5, and that needs to be a 6. I'm gonna line it up right there. And that'll be fine right there. We're gonna go like this. Like this. We are going to add a stroke to it and do the same thing as before. Stroke. Alright, cool. And convert that to a smart object and then rasterize it. We're going to highlight all of our blue. Go to line paint, delete the white, come back up here, delete the blue, so it's see-through. We're going to texture lock it. Oh, fuck. Okay, and then Control C, Control V. So now that I know what I'm gonna do, or how I did that. And we're just kind of getting it to our desired darkness. That stroke border, which turn this on. I'd say that's perfect. Merge down. Alright, and then so we're gonna take this Control C, Control V. So it's gonna go right about here. But we need to create our. Oh, we need to redo our lines too. Or we need to take out the things here. Um, um, anyway, okay. Alright, so we need to duplicate this set of lines. So what we're just gonna do is we're gonna take this. And we're gonna move it up here. Edit, transform. Nope. Edit, transform, vertical. Alright, and then we're just gonna line that up. And then come to here on the line paint. Oh, shit. And delete that. But slight edit is we can't do that, and I just realized why. And you saw why actually right there, because the letters were backwards. So we're gonna have to hand do this, which is fine because it's gonna be. I'm gonna do it quite quickly and easily. Fairly quickly, quick and easy. Delete. We're just deleting the white out of the whole image. Anything inside the black lines essentially is getting deleted. So it shows that transparent color behind it. This is probably by far no way the simplest way to do this. This is just easiest for me to do. Fuck. Okay. Quick and easy. I was simple. We're done. Skin is done. Um, we have both logos. Everything's the way it needs to be. Um, so we're just gonna clear our guides. Um, so now the only thing we would have to worry about um, would be our lines not lining up perfectly across the board. But I think they're going to. But we're gonna test it anyway just to be sure, because I always do. So now what you need to do. So fuck. I just minimized everything on my screen. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. I can close that. Okay, that. We can close that. That's fine. Okay. So anyway, for one, I am going to save a PSD of this in here. So we're gonna go here, resources, and blue Ryan. Alright, okay. And then we're gonna go file, save as, back. Alright, so now this is gonna be where our skin is. So when we create our file path, we're gonna go into the same file path, vehicle, truck, upgrade, paint job. That's where it's gonna go. Um, and we want to select DDS. And we need to name it the same as the rest. So blue underscore Ryan, all lowercase. And basically when you see that, you'll see that Toby J popped up. So that just copy that name. You can do it this way, so you can go down and then delete the .tobj, and then just click save. For Photoshop, this will pop up. For Paint.net, something else will pop up. But essentially the settings are the same. You just need to make sure you have a BC3 set, and then you'll have a couple other selections you can mess around with. But this is essentially what it's going to look like for Photoshop. You're just going to click save. Let it save. It's going to save. We can minimize that. As you can see, it's right here. So now we really don't need to do anything else, since we already created all of our files. And I know I said I was going to show you my new textures I was going to do, but I think I'm going to save that for the live stream that I do. The official rebrand, I guess. Essentially get that going, because for one, it's 5 a.m. and I'm pushing 2.5 hours on this video, and I still have to upload it for you guys. So there is that. But with that being said, so we have our file. So what we're going to do, once everything is in here what it needs to be, you're going to right click. I'm using WinRAR. You can also use 7-zip, but for WinRAR you just click add to archive, You click .zip. This name doesn't matter. I'm just going to leave it what it is, same as my folder. And you're going to change these last three letters to .scs. Well, not .scs, but you're going to change the last three letters to scs. So it's going to read blue_Ryan.scs. And then you're going to hit OK. Let's do its thing. And here is your SCS file. I'm going to put mine up here, right here. And then we're going to open this, go to our mods folder, and we're just going to add it in. Cool. We're going to close all that because I don't need it anymore, and we're going to open up our game. Alright, we are back. So we are back in the game. As you can see, I know I didn't do any cutscene or anything like that, but I muted myself and I walked away while it loaded. So this is going to take a minute to load. Actually, I'm going to check my other. I think my beta has the Rollin mod in it. It does not, but we're going to put this up here. We're going to get rid of this. So Rollin key's fine. We're going to get all of our Rollin files in here real quick. As you can see, I have a lot of skins in here still that I've been working on for other people. Some of them are done, some of them aren't. I just haven't rooted through my mods yet. Okay, so here's the Rollin, which goes right here, so we can get rid of that. I'll throw that up in there. Driver. Okay, we just need the big rig cameras. Okay, so we just confirm changes. So it is. So as I was saying, earlier when we were describing the file structure, that JPEG is this image right here that you see right here. That is your JPEG. As you can see, here's your package name, blue_Ryan. Things like that. Paint job, Bears West Coast graphics. Here's your 1.0 version. Here's your description. It's like if I look at this one, it's the same thing. Here's my description. It's simple stuff. So we launch our game. I'm doing this in my beta just because if I load my regular profile, it's going to take forever because I got maps and stuff, and it's built specifically for a convoy session I do with friends. So I don't want to mess with that any more than I have to. And you won't be able to hear anything in my game because I have desktop audio muted because I'm listening to music and I don't want to have to deal with YouTube copyright bullshit. So, yeah. Okay, so as you see, we don't have a truck, which is fine, but we don't need a truck to see. So if we look here, click. Okay, so here's your standard truck. So we have our ultra cabs, high and low. As you can see, So here is our skin, and first glances, everything lined up beautifully, perfectly the way it needs to, across the board. You can see. So here, I can't show you with these, but okay. So it didn't quite line up right here. I am off by what it looks like to be a singular pixel. Um, and this is the front of the sleeper, so that's easy to fix. So that goes up by one. Um, I'll need to check this to be sure, but it looks like it's too low by one. Oh wait, I think actually this side might be up by one. That's nice. Let me check here. I don't know where this white line border here is coming from. But you can see my number thing. It pretty much worked as I wanted it to, as you can see. Um, Quality isn't the greatest. When you look super in, which it is what it is. I can't really. I can try and fix it later, down the road, but the size of it and everything. I guess I could make it bigger to fit the space. This it's essentially it is what it is. Um, there's only so much I can technically do. Um, it's just those are minor details that I would normally be really picky about, but there's only so much I can do physically, and for this, I don't want to spend another 4.5 hours working on this skin. So, and I broke my camera thing. Um, but first off, let's so we need to remove the flares to make sure, see if so it looks like what I just need to do is actually drop this side down by a pixel. Um, and then yeah, okay, so you can see right there where the other alignment is. And you can see on this side, it's lined up perfectly. So it's the driver's side that is off. Um, which is fine. Usually is the driver's side that's off for me, because it's upside down and I have to flip it. But easy fix. I just drop it by 1 pixel and we're good. Alright, so we're going to do this. We'll screenshot it for now. And like as you saw, it's going to fit both these caps. But it's going to disappear if you go to these ones, which is, understandable. So, so I only have to do the one fix, 1 pixel, so basically following my guides. It's not always perfect. Go away. Yes, quit. But it is what it is. Yes, I really want to quit. Quit. Sorry, my computer struggles when it's trying to run Photoshop, OBS, and ATS. It struggles trying to run both of those things all at the same time. But it is what it is. So once this is done lagging behind, oh, did it close? Alright, we'll do this the other way then. It says it's gone. Okay, there we go. I just forced it to go away. There we go. Come on. Alright, so anyway, as we were saying, so driver side. So if we turn our template back on, this is the only side we needed to worry about. So we take this in here, grab everything in there. So we need to zoom in. And no, it was up too high. So it actually needs to go down a pixel. And then move all of this. Okay. And we should be good now. Everything should be fine. Which is perfect. So then we can just we can turn our template back off. File, save as. Alright, so anyway, we're gonna save the PSD really quick. Click OK. Then file, save as, and we're going to do our DDS again. Vehicle, truck, paint job, and then we're just gonna replace this one and click save. Remember that your settings need to be BC3 and then save. After that, we're just gonna close the project, close Photoshop because I am done. Um, and then we're gonna go back here. We're gonna go back into here. We're gonna delete this because it's no longer good. Here, add to archive.zip and SCS. Click OK. Let it condense. Alright, and there we go. We are done. And that, guys, is basically start to finish a simple skin. And that's going to be it for this video. We're finishing it at just under 2 hours 40 minutes. Honestly, I have to say that is not terrible. My little stream intros and stuff. Yeah. Sweet, simple, short. And there's my original Care Bear logo that I made a long time ago when I first started. My custom little Care Bear, which I like. But yeah, essentially we are done. I'm gonna wrap this video up, get it started on uploading, and post it to the Discord as soon as it's ready. Alright. Yeah, that's okay. So sorry, I was just checking things just to be sure. But yeah, we're gonna do this. I'll see you later and catch you in the next one.